During the 1980s, David Godman was a regular visitor to another great spiritual master.
In the late 1970s, probably 1978, I started meeting several people who had been to Bombay to see Nisargadatta Maharaj. Now, I wasn't particularly impressed by his teachings or anything else he had to say. I knew the Advaita teaching, and anyone can spout that. What did impress me was the absolutely radiant faces of the people who were coming back. They'd go up there looking a bit glum, and they'd come back like they had, 3-foot white halos coming out of the side of their head, and ear-to-ear grins on their face that didn't go away for weeks. And I thought, this is something I want to experience for myself.
Travelling to Nisargadatta's place of residence in the coastal city of Mumbai, the sublime presence of a saint seems unlikely amidst the grinding poverty and squalor that is so apparent all around. Nisargadatta passed away in 1981, but it was right here in this humble tenement loft that still remains occupied by some of Maharaj's family that he met with spiritual seekers from all over the world.
The whole place, the whole room, it just seeps into you in a way that's very hard to describe. He was very argumentative. He was the complete antithesis of Bhagavan in many ways. He didn't like sitting in silence. If no one had anything to say, he'd generally complain, and he'd say, "Come on, don't waste my time, ask me a question, somebody say something." He liked quarrelling, he liked arguing, he was feisty. If people got feisty back, he'd throw them out. I mean, he was not, by anyone's definition, a saintly man. He did have an absolutely extraordinary ability to show you who you were as he was talking to you. This is what really impressed me. And the way I saw it happen was that people would come to see him, and everybody comes with some sort of intellectual, spiritual baggage. They think they know what the world is, how it works. They might have decided they found some way of transcending the world or getting to some peaceful state. Everybody came with a structure. So he liked to sit people down and say, "Who's your teacher? What books have you read? What's your practice?" And slowly, slowly he'd entice you to construct your own edifice that you thought explained the world or what your role in it was. And simultaneously, while he was doing this, he would be emanating some power, some Shakti, which actually showed you who you really were in that moment. So you could see this split, this kind of dichotomy on people's faces, that half of them was busy making this kind of Lego fake reality that they were putting on display piece by piece. And then slowly, slowly you could see inside them, they were actually beginning to experience what he wanted you to experience. And at some point you had to make a choice between your own conceptual structure, which you just laid out for him, and this direct experience, which he'd just given to you, which absolutely, totally refuted all the things that you were trying to explain. And there was some people would just blunder ahead, they'd carry on with their structures, their ideas they couldn't drop. And with other people there'd be this, almost a laugh, a kind of, "Okay, now I see the joke," and they'd just shut up and they'd sit there in this state of beingness, of knowledge, which he was somehow emanating to you at the same time that you were trying to explain your worldview, and eventually you threw your own worldview out and accepted his because that was your experience.